Hello friends, welcome back into a new video. I'm Divik and this is part 2 of our reaction to the Unwithered Truths benefit of hindsight thing. Now I'm same shirt, so I'm recording part 2 the same evening that I'm recording part 1, so why the heck not? So for in the first part we took a look at some lore stuff. We looked at the layout of the game of the first location. We also checked out some gameplay stuff, including Night 5 having a special challenge night with Golden Freddy, which was really cool. Now I'm not gonna talk in the opening of this one too much here. I want to actually get through this, so we're just gonna jump right in to this guy. Man, oh freaking man. Let's go. So let us begin now in 3, 2, 1.
Changed the way a lot of games looked at storytelling. It had an
True.
undeniable impact on people when it released, and the same core storytelling philosophies have stuck around to this very day. So
True.
what can we do to make sure this reboot intrigues people in the same way, makes them want to pick apart every tiny detail until they feel like they've figured out all the nooks and crannies of this fresh take on the FNAF story?
Right.
Well, for starters, I think keeping the focus in-game being on the gameplay rather than the story is something that the original FNAF series got right.
Absolutely.
The story wasn't spoon-fed to us. Any hints about the wider narrative had to be sought out by the community, which is what makes theorizing so fun.
That's true. Yeah.
That's why the in-between night sections I mentioned earlier in Michael's home, or the mini-games I'll go over in a bit, are absolutely optional, and most of them will be hidden away to be uncovered.
That's
But
fair.
before I go into the secrets, there is one character I've neglected to mention up to this point, or at least his role in this game. He is undoubtedly one of the most iconic and important characters, and is a crucial aspect to the way the original games hooked their audience. And that is, of course, Ralph, the phone guy. In this game, Ralph will indeed be our guide.
I'm not
as he
even
was
looking
in
at the
original,
captions, to be
giving us
fair.
tips and tricks to
No, let's
surviving
turn
the
those
nights,
off.
while also dropping
Actually, never mind. Let's keep those
tantalizing
on.
teases to the wider Freddy's universe.
I want to make sure the captions are on so you guys know what's being said in the video in case I talk louder than... Hello?
Hello? Hi there. I wanted to record a couple
Is that
messages
Rytoast?
for you to help you get settled in over.
Hold the phone. Is that Rytoast? You got Rytoast to play as Ralph in your game. That's actually really cool. I like
First week on the
Rytoast.
job. I definitely could have done with a friendly voice on these long nights, so I thought I'd give you one to listen to.
Ralph will introduce himself as the location's manager.
My name's Ralph. I'm the manager of this fine establishment.
Nice.
I'm, also currently the night guard and the janitor. Staff has been hard to come by as of late, but thanks to you, I finally have a replacement. Someone's coming in from on high to be the new manager, but you have the privilege of guarding the building after hours.
Nice.
And cleaning up a few things here and there. This
Okay.
is my last week on the job, so we'll both be braving new beginnings together.
Nice.
Let's see here. There's an introductory greeting I'm supposed to read. You know, sort of a legal thing they had to bring in a few years back.
He'll give a hilariously satirical company greeting that no sane person would stick around to hear the end of, because they'd already be out the door looking for a safer line of work.
Man.
Ralph assures us nothing will go wrong, as everything in Freddy's has a completely
Definitely not Ghost
logical
Kids.
explanation. Ralph mentions that the animatronic characters have been stuck on stage since the bite of '87.
Oh.
Yeah, things really haven't been the same since then. You know, people could excuse one bite, but 2 in 4 years. PR really had a hard time with that one.
Oh.
Anyway,
Ralph explains that the animatronics get a bit quirky at night. They're set to free roam at night to stop their servos from locking up
Okay.
and move toward wherever the people are. They can't seem to recognize adults after hours, and so they think you're an endoskeleton without a costume on. That leads to them stuffing you inside an empty suit, killing you. This final point is confirmed to us anytime we die, as we're brought to a game over screen where our player is seen stuffed into a moldy yellow rabbit costume in the back room.
Oh,
On night
I'm
2,
definitely going to
Ralph
cover that up.
congratulates us on making it past our first night shift.
hello? Hello? Hey, look at you.
Hey.
Night 2. You're a natural. Probably.
We're reminded that the work of Fazbear security guards extends beyond sitting in an office watching screens all night. Sometimes there'll be busybody work that needs doing around the place, which you'll be notified on your cameras about.
If you do need to leave though, use the ventilation duct situated behind you on account of the animatronics roaming and looking to stuff you into a
Yeah.
suit. Be careful not to get lost, and once you're back out on the other side, try not to be too loud. The vents aren't big enough for the animatronics to fit through,
That's
though,
good.
so you should be fine.
Ralph also explains that Foxy, his favorite animatronic, is located in Pirate's Cove. Despite being marked out of order, he's still active at night. He doesn't like being watched, so it's best to stay away from his camera as much as you can. If he starts poking out, though, you can just hit him with your camera lights.
Yeah. He always had a problem with lights, that one. Wish we knew that back before he... never mind.
Whoa.
On night 3, Ralph is surprised we're still working here. The turnaround on guards is usually quite high. He supposes that we might never listen to this message, and if we don't, then that means Fazbear will be hiring again.
I really hope they don't call me. I don't know if I can turn him down.
Ralph tells us that if we ever get bored, we can always check out the arcade. Some of the games are a bit glitchy, but most of them are fine.
You know,
excuse me.
leaving the office unnecessarily during the night isn't the best idea. But a quick game here or there can be good for the soul. Just use the vents to get there, and be back as quickly as possible. Those arcades are loud.
Of course, this is a hint that there are playable arcades which will be later used to feed more story to the player.
Right.
On night 4,
Hello? Wow, you're still here. Listening to this. Hopefully.
Ralph's voice sounds tinnier than usual, and he's whispering.
I hope your night's going better than mine. I popped out for a minute to get in a game of Fruity Maze and, guess I lost track of time. But it nearly got me. I panicked and jumped in the vents, but I got a little turned around on the way back to the office. I'm using my cell phone now to call the voicemail system. I hope this message makes it to you.
Uh-oh.
I'm not really sure where I am. It's a bit of a maze in here.
A maze, you say?
Fruity Maze. I'm going to try and hold out here for the night. Wait for them all to reset in the morning. In fact, I don't know why I didn't think of this before. I'm probably safer in here than you are. So,
Well,
there you go.
wow.
That's your tip for tonight. Hide in the vents. Wait.
Ralph goes quiet. There's a strange slithering sound coming through the phone.
Huh. I didn't even know we still had you around.
Hello?
Remember before when I said the player could take any path they like in the vents? Well, if you stay in the vents long enough and take enough wrong turns, on any night you can find Ralph's body decaying in the vents.
Oh, well, definitely covering that up. Hi. Oh. What? Hello? Hi, puppet.
You're
That-
not allowed here.
That's right, the puppet's in FNAF 1, baby! So, obviously,
Oh.
in the original series, the puppet wasn't invented until FNAF 2, and thus
Yeah.
had no way of appearing
Okay.
in the first game. Despite the second game actually being a prequel, I didn't want to just add the puppet in as a regular character, but the idea of just ignoring her existence didn't feel right either.
That's
Setting
fair.
her up as this mysterious entity crawling through the walls at Freddy's felt like something more appropriate for her in the first
I
game.
agree,
Totally
actually.
missable on a standard initial playthrough, but more important to the story at large. This is also why Freddy faces the vents and plays his music box. He's programmed to keep her at bay by playing soothing lullabies throughout the pizzeria. in the
Okay, so Freddy's
Anyway,
got
we'll talk a little bit more
a
about
thing.
the puppet and her place in this game later, but for now, let's go on to Ralph's Night 5 call.
But Ralph's dead. How can he call us?
Well, to draw from the week before again, on Night 5, before Fredbear shows up, the voicemail system crackles to life, as all the animatronics stay in place.
Hello? Hello? Pardon my asking, sir, but what on earth are you doing there? Didn't you get the memo? The
Hello?
building is on total lockdown. This investigation has gotten really out of hand. They're saying somewhat this is what you want to hear, but they're saying we're probably gonna have to end up closing for a while. With all the panic and the new animatronics acting up,
new
it's
animatronic.
probably for the best. I promise I'll handle everything best I can. But for the time being, I recommend you finish your shift and try not to touch anything. I'll call you in the morning and update you. Just please don't touch anything. Okay, good night.
As you might be able to tell, this is my rewritten hodgepodge of the FNAF 2 phone calls from nights 5 and 6. I have ideas about how that game would work, but rest assured that if I ever talk about what I'd do for that game, it would absolutely use this as the Night 5 phone call there as well. The night then proceeds with Golden Freddy doing his thing, and that's the end of Ralph.
Okay,
this
newspapers.
Game would be
Let's see.
full of small, creepy Easter eggs, just like the first game. Posters changing on the wall, characters with rare screens or glitchy hallucinations, that sort of thing. I was also thinking you could have a fun. The only Easter eggs that I want to actually put focus on are the newspapers,
I'm not even gonna bother with that.
which I'm gonna have make a return from the original. These were the thing that started it all back in the day, so I think it's only fitting we keep them as part of the reboot. On some of the cameras and in some of the rooms you can visit, newspaper clippings can be found appearing and disappearing along the walls of the pizzeria. Much like the original, they tell of the missing children's incident.
5 confirmed victims of Fazbear disappearances. After the company's promise of safety following the multiple incidents which occurred at their establishment many years ago, locals are horrified to see the same tragic patterns repeat themselves.
Of course.
Mascot killer still at large. Fazbear's Pizza closed for public safety. Despite management assuring the public that the closure is only temporary, it seems unlikely customers will be willing to trust the company ever again. Other Fazbear locations around the country have also been negatively stigma surrounding these incidents. CEO of Fazbear Entertainment found guilty. Linked to an Indian hurricane breathed a sigh of relief after the former CEO of Fazbear Entertainment was convicted last Thursday. Police suspect he was likely also responsible for the disappearance of who went missing from the same establishment.
I'm betting that says Charlotte Emily. Very nice detail, by the way.
Classic Freddy and Friends returning. New robots scrapped. After incidents of malfunction, Fazbear's newest line of robotic mascots, which debuted only a few weeks before the location's closure, are being older classic animatronics are set to be taken out of storage and refunded. The acting CEO of Fazbear Entertainment calls it a return to form. A local concerned mother was quoted as saying, "I really hope not." Fazbear Entertainment chomping down on health code violations. Management assured the Herald that the robotic mascots are cleaned regularly, but that the foul black mutants, which reportedly leaks from the mascot suits, returns without explanation. An official statement from Fazbear attempted to explain this bizarre, upsetting, alleged phenomena as
unavoidable operational leakage.
The health department told the Herald it isn't satisfied with this answer.
Right.
As you can probably...
So I'm guessing that we're making mention of Fredbear Diner, as well as the FNAF 2 location, because you have Charlotte and Emily's passing, and then you have the missing children's incident being mentioned here. It sounds like maybe the DCI took place. That that I'm not gonna say what that is, but if you know, you know. But cool.
I'd like to weave a little more of the events prior to the MCI into the newspapers, as it seems like they would be relevant considering the history and track record Fazbear has by the time of the MCI.
Charlotte.
However, there is another article which can only appear on Night 5.
Young boy killed at local diner. On the morning of November 12th, a child's birthday celebration at the popular Fredbear's Family Diner.
Oh, okay, Fredbear Diner. All right, there we go.
When a group of local teenagers forced a young boy into the mouth of the star animatronic.
Why would you do that?
The twisted prank gone wrong ended in tragedy when the robotic performer crushed the boy's head, killing him instantly. The 4 young men are awaiting a consolidated hearing in Utah Juvenile Court. Sources say the victim's older brother led the brutal act and may be more liable.
Oh.
Potentially charged as an adult.
Wow.
I probably don't need to tell you what this particular newspaper article is referring to.
Okay, all right, here's the minigames.
As mentioned previously, the arcade cabinets in Freddy's will be accessible.
Okay, so my thoughts there. Makes sense. I mean, I do agree with the prospect. I like the angle that Unwithered is going with here. I don't have any notes, actually. I don't have any negatives, because all of this makes complete sense. And as someone who has been following the series from day one, actually, All of this makes complete sense, and it works very, very well. Now, I'm gonna wager a guess here, is that this is gonna connect to the 5 animatronics somehow, maybe possibly. But let's find out.
Possible to the player to provide further Easter eggs and lore hints. The player can go to and from the arcade at will, but can only play through one on each night without risk of being caught by an animatronic. There will be 5 minigames in total, and thus, to access the full ending of the game, one must complete an arcade cabinet every night.
Oh.
In classic Midnight Motorist fashion, there are 2 layers to each game: the regular game and the hidden lore section, which can be reached through glitches or secret exits in the
Of
level.
course.
Arcade 1, Freddy in Space, Reloaded. This arcade is a platformer/shooter where you play as Freddy Fazbear, battling space aliens as you try to make it to the end of the extraterrestrial level.
Nice.
This game is a simple, goofy Mario clone, but one of the platforms colored purple will allow you to glitch your way out of bounds. Freddy falls off screen, and as he goes, his pixelated art form will slowly degrade until he no longer resembles a bear. Instead, he is now a child, standing in a pizzeria.
Hello?
A bunch of other kids surround the Freddy child. We can use
Okay.
controls to make our character dance. The other kids cheer us on.
Oh, nice. So this is Freddy then? So this is hey. So this is Gabriel?
You've won a special Fazbear Prize for Best Performer. Follow me.
I don't think I like that. So I'm guessing this is Gabriel.
The minigame ends. Arcade 2, Bonnie's Jammin' Jamboree. This is a rhythm game where we must match our inputs to the ones shown on screen. One of the buttons is never used in-game, its lane staying empty. If we mash that button, the screen glitches and Bonnie becomes a terrified face of a child.
Okay, so this is
Controls to make fingers come on
Jeremy.
screen and point at the child, who progressively gets sadder.
Jeremy,
Eventually,
perhaps?
we win, and the fingers go away. A yellow
Win,
arrow
quote unquote.
comes on screen.
I have big ears too. I'll be your friend. Follow
Oh.
me.
Oh.
Ends.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Arcade 3, Chica's Feeding Frenzy.
I'm absolutely kidding, by the way. That's completely satirical. I'm not bothered by that.
All the food around the level. If we choose not to eat any of the food by the time the timer runs out, the level glitches. We're a little girl now, standing at a counter. Any button we press prompts us with
No food for you? Wow. Hello?
You look hungry.
Susie?
I'll show you where you can have all the food you like. Follow me.
Susie.
the minigame ends. Arcade 4, Foxy's Pirate Ship Simulator. We play
Fritz.
as Foxy, navigating a ship through stormy waters. We have to avoid big icebergs and shoot other pirates who are trying to board the ship. If we ignore on-screen warnings, we can sail off course and run the ship aground. If we do that, the game glitches.
Okay.
Now a young boy. Other children sneer and laugh. They take our glasses off and break them.
Wow.
The children leave.
Makes sense.
A blurry yellow rabbit approaches.
Your eyes don't work too well. I have a friend just like you. Would
Mm.
you like to meet him? Follow me.
Okay, so each of the mini games, as I suspected, corresponds to each of the kids. So we got Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy. And I'm guessing Golden Freddy will be the last one. I get the feeling I'm gonna want to blur this. Yep. I'm gonna want to blur. Well, actually, it's pretty blurry.
Don't worry. There's one just for you.
Actually, yep. I'm gonna need to blur
The
that.
final arcade cabinet is harder to find as it's not in the arcade like the rest.
Oh.
Instead, it is in the backstage area and will only activate on night 5. Arcade 5, Fredbear and Bonnie Bite Back. We play as Fredbear in a much simpler style of arcade than the rest from a previous generation of arcade machines.
Makes sense.
Pac-Man style clone where we're trying our best to beat a yellow Bonnie by eating all the bits on screen before he does. We can find a section of the map which we can pass through and bite our way off screen. We continue moving through a black void until eventually finding a young boy crying.
Oh, no, don't you dare. I knew it. Yep, I'm gonna have to blur that. Yep, gonna have to blur that. Oh! Wait, only one eyeball is... Oh!
A young girl is beating up another child. We must press buttons to beat them more and more.
Hello?
The kid runs off crying. The yellow rabbit appears.
Quickly! If he tells his mummy, you'll be in big trouble. I can hide you. Follow me.
Uh-oh. We actually sounded a little alarmed there. Oh. Oh.
Careful.
Oh.
Move.
Oh, that's not great.
You will die.
Oh, that's not great. Whoa.
My son is in there with you. It's
Oh.
your job to put him back together.
Oh.
Let your anger give you the strength. Now you can move.
Oh.
The minigame ends.
Oh.
So, as you can see, I decided to keep the minigames only really relevant to the MCI for this game.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
There is an abundance of lore to dive into in a retelling. I think the first game is the place to intrigue people with the simplest elements
Yeah,
of the story,
okay.
just like the original did. Obviously, there are some hints through these games to other things, like the Purple Man talking about his son to Cassidy, but overall, I didn't want to go too overboard with
tracks.
introducing other elements
Okay.
this early on. But of course, that's not where the lore of this game ends.
Okay, pause. That's really cool. That's actually really cool. I like that. But let's go ahead and
I
get this
spoke
final
briefly
section down at it.
earlier about Golden Freddy's appearance on Night 5 and how he takes over from the rest of the animatronics. What I didn't discuss is what happens when we beat the night.
That's
In the
true.
event that we survive to the end of the night on a normal playthrough.
Oh. Oh my. Okay, so that's straight out of the first game. Whoa. Oh. Oh, so that's the normal ending.
On a notice of termination. Note: didn't bother to turn up second week. Your first week's pay will not be issued. The end.
Oh.
This is, of course, the bad ending of the game, but assuming you've played through all 5 minigames and completed all of the different tasks over the nights, this will unlock the good ending.
Okay.
Golden Freddy will still appear in the office and do all the creepy ghost stuff, but before he can bite down on your head...
Whoa.
They don't recognize you, but I do now.
Now? Okay. That's cool. That's very cool. I knew it. Rye toast. Yeah, that's stinking cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, that's really cool. I like it. There's a lot of effort being put into this that I have a lot of respect for. But, yeah, with part 2 having its trailer release, I'm obviously going to want to do a reaction to that as well. But that is also, I have no notes. This is just really, really cool. I would definitely want to see more. That is for sure. But yeah, leave a like if you guys did enjoy. Subscribe if you're new, of course. And I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace.